KURINJI Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
KURINJI Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
Students, now in this video we are going to discuss a new chapter, name is Respiration in Plants. Okay, new chapter name is Respiration in Plants. Now all living organisms need energy for carrying out daily life activities. Okay, so means here each and every living organism need energy. So each and every living organism means you and me, plants and the microorganisms. What are the living organisms? Okay, so living organisms are there, no? Definitely they need energy for carrying out daily life activities. So be it absorption, transpiration or the transport, movement, reproduction or even breathing. So likewise there are different types of life activities are there: absorption, transport, movement, reproduction or even breathing. So likewise there are different types of life activities we can be seen. So now here what is the point here we will be noticing means, so the process of breathing is a very much connected to the process of release of energy from the food. So now here what is the point here we can discuss. So what is the point here we are noticing means, the process of breathing is a very much connected. The process of breathing is a very much connected to the process of release of energy from the food. Okay, so thereby there are different types of life activities over there, but here for a releasing of energy or for release of energy from the food, definitely what is the kind of activities required? Breathing is a very much connected to the process of release of energy from the food. Okay, so thereby here what is the thing, if you take the each and every living organism, definitely energy is needed. So energy wise means to carrying out for their daily life activities. So what are the activities? Absorption, transport, movement, reproduction, even breathing purpose also definitely energy is required. So the breathing, the process, life activity, breathing, if you see there, it is the process very much connected to the process of release of energy. So why sir breathing means? So we know very well by the process of breathing only exchange of gases takes place in the living organisms. So when we are going to take the oxygen, so at the time that because of the presence of oxygen in the air, that is utilized for the oxidation of food materials. So that's why here, so there are different types of life activities over there. The breathing process which is very much connected to the process of release of energy from the food. Okay, now all the energy required for the life processes is obtained by the oxidation of some macromolecules. One more time, all the energy required for life processes is obtained by the oxidation of some macromolecules that we call food. So means here if you see or if you take the food, now there we know very well already we have seen in biomolecules, macromolecules means proteins, nucleic acids and carbohydrates, polysaccharides like and lipids. Likewise there are different types of macromolecules are present. So here all these macromolecules are when they are going to be oxidized, so energy is liberated from the food. So thereby energy is required by the life processes is obtained by the oxidation of some macromolecules that we need or that we call as food. Now only green plants and cyanobacteria members can prepare their own food. So means here if you see there on the globe there are different types of microorganisms are there, but here the green plants means the plants as well as the cyanobacteria members only, means blue green algae members only, they will prepare their own food, okay, by the process of photosynthesis, and they trap light energy and they convert it into chemical energy. So thereby by trapping the sunlight energy by having of special mechanisms, here the light energy is converted into chemical energy that is stored in the bonds of carbohydrates like glucose, sucrose and starch. So means what is the point now I am going to give you? On the globe there are different types of millions of microorganisms are there, or the living organisms are there, but the capability of the photosynthesis is there only for the green plants as well as cyanobacteria. So these green plants and cyanobacteria, what they are doing for the preparation of food materials, so they trap the light energy, so they convert the light energy into the chemical energy. So once the chemical energy is produced from the light energy, so that particular chemical energy is stored in the bonds or stored in the form of carbohydrates like glucose, sucrose and starch. Now here we must remember that in green plants too, not all cells, tissues, organs of photosynthesize. Means here, sir, if plants are there, no, in all kind of plant parts only the process of photosynthesis takes place, sir, means no chances. Why? Because suppose if you see the roots, so roots are present inside the ground within the soil, so thereby that's why suppose if you observe the roots, the roots will be in colorless, white in color. So thereby why is white in color means because of the absence of chloroplasts. Even a few in aerial parts also we will not notice, or we will notice the absence of absence of chloroplasts. So thereby what is the point I am going to give you is, even though the plants are performing the process of photosynthesis, all parts of the plants are not performs the process of photosynthesis, I am saying. Okay, now only cells containing chloroplasts that are most often located in the superficial layers and these and carry out the process of photosynthesis. Means here if you see the information point of view, so what are the cells or what are the cells containing of chloroplasts? So those cells only present in the superficial layers of the tissues, and so thereby carry out the process of photosynthesis. Hence even in green plants, all other organs like our organs, tissues, cells that are non-green and need food for oxidation. So thereby here, so if you see the plants, now only we are discussing. So in plants also the process of photosynthesis takes place, or confined only to the certain parts of the plants, and the remaining parts of the plants definitely need energy or need food for the process of oxidation. Or need so thereby here the non-green parts also need food for the process of oxidation process. So hence food has to be translocated. So thereby food must be translocated from the one place to another place. So here so food must be translocated. So now to the all non-green plants, all non-green parts of the plants. Okay, now animals are heterotrophic. So we know very well all animals, if you see there, definitely are heterotrophic. Why? Because they don't have the capability to perform the process of photosynthesis. That's why so animals are simply depending on the autotrophs. That's why those organisms we will be considering them as, or we will be taking them as heterotrophs. So that is they obtain food from the plants directly. Directly means in case of herbivores, or indirectly in case of carnivores. Means here heterotrophs are there. These heterotrophs now, suppose if the food energy or the if they obtain food directly from the plants means we will be taking them as herbivores, means goat, cow examples. Why? Because they will eat grass, no? So directly the energy is translocated to the herbivores. And indirectly means carnivores, means first of all carnivores, if you see there, no, they will eat the herbivores. Okay, so thereby here, these carnivores also get the food materials indirectly. So means these carnivores will not eat the grass, so but they will obtain the food materials indirectly from the plants, autotrophs. And later saprophytes, if you see there, no, for example fungal members are dependent on dead and decaying matter. So means saprophytes, for example fungal members, if you see these fungal members obtain the food materials from the dead and decaying matter. Okay, so now here this is entire information which we can be discussed related to the what is photosynthesis and what is respiration, what is the difference among these two, now we have discussed. Now furtherly let us move forward to discuss some other new points related to the respiration. Now cellular respiration or the mechanism of breakdown of food materials within the cells. One more time, cellular respiration is nothing but or the mechanism of breakdown of food materials. Mechanism of breakdown of food materials within the cells to release energy and trapping of this light energy for the synthesis of ATP. So thereby here in cellular respiration what is happening? So definitely food materials breakdown mechanism is taking place. So thereby within the cells light energy is liberated. So this particular light energy or the light energy will by using of light energy, somewhat energy will be prepared. So that energy we will utilize, or that energy utilized for the synthesis of ATP, means from the light energy to chemical energy, from the chemical energy to ATP formation takes place. So likewise, so there all the time the metabolic activities should be taken place or should be occurred continuously. So now the process of photosynthesis, of course, that a process of photosynthesis takes place within the chloroplast in the eukaryotes. So if you take the prokaryotes, if you take the eukaryotes, not prokaryotes, if you take a eukaryotes, the process of photosynthesis which occurs in the chloroplast, whereas the breakdown of complex molecules to yield the energy takes place in the cytoplasm and in the mitochondria, also only in case of eukaryotes. So means here the process of photosynthesis takes place in the specialized cell organelles known as eukaryotes, and the process, the breakdown of complex molecules, to yield energy also, the process which occurs in the cytoplasm and in the mitochondria, even in the eukaryotes. So thereby what is the point we are learning? So the process of photosynthesis, specialized cell organelles are there, and the process of respiration also, specialized cell organelles are present in case of eukaryotes. Next one. Now here what is happening, sir? Respiration means, or the oxidation of food materials, what is happening, sir, means the breaking of the CC bonds. The breaking of CC bonds of complex compounds through the oxidation, so within the cells, leading to release of a considerable amount of energy is known as respiration. So means here the breakdown of the bonds which are present between the two carbons of the complex compounds, so through the oxidation process within the cells, leading to release of a considerable amount of energy. So thereby, so when the process means here, when by the process of oxidation, so when the bonds which are present between the two carbons is going to be break down, no, at the time what is happening, so it releases some amount of energy, so that kind of process only now we will be taking as respiration. Respiration. Now the compounds that are oxidized during this process are known as respiratory substrates. Means here what are the compounds? what are the compounds which are oxidized, or what are the compounds that are oxidized during the process of respiration. We will be taking as respiratory substrates. Simple, respiratory substrates means what are the chemical compounds that are being involved in the oxidation process. So we will be taking as respiratory substrates. Usually carbohydrates are oxidized to release the energy. Usually carbohydrates release energy. So usually carbohydrates release energy. But proteins, fats, even organic acids can be used as respiratory substrates in some other plants. Sir, only carbohydrates only oxidize and release energy, sir, means no. Along with the carbohydrates, proteins, fats, even organic acids also can be used as respiratory substrates in the some plants. Okay, under only certain conditions. So here there are different types of respiratory substrates are present, and which are involved in the producing of energy in certain conditions. Okay, next one is during oxidation within a cell, all the energy contained in the respiratory substrate is not released free into the cell or in a single step. Means here we may get one doubt, sir, if carbohydrates are there, apart fats, so proteins, organic acids, likewise there are different types of respiratory substrates are there. And suppose if all those chemical compounds, so suppose if they involved in the process of oxidation in a cell, sir, at a time within one step energy ellame will be released, sir, means no. So means by one step, so what is the energy which is stored in the respiratory substrates will not come out from the cell, or will not come out from the respiratory substrates. It will comes down, or energy will be released to slow down, or the step by step only. So that is the point only now we are discussing. During the oxidation within the cell or within a cell, all the energy contained in the respiratory substrates is not released free in the cell or is a single step, It is released in a series of slow stepwise reactions controlled by enzymes, and it is trapped as a chemical in the form of ATP. So thereby step by step, so with the enzymatic involvements or with the help of enzymes, what is the energy which is stored in the respiratory substrates, gradually it is converted into chemical energy in the form of ATP. But what is the energy which is stored in the respiratory substrates? At a time or within a single step it will not be released. This is important point. Hence, it is important to understand that the energy released by the oxidation in respiration is not used directly, but it is used to synthesize ATP. So means again, what is the energy which is synthesized by the oxidation of food materials, which is not utilized directly, but it is used to the synthesis of ATP again. Okay, so which breakdown, so where energy needed to be utilized. So definitely, so energy will be synthesized by the oxidation, or what is the energy which is released by the oxidation of food materials. So when the energy is liberated, so that particular energy will be stored in the form of ATP, and where the food materials or where the energy is utilized, so it will go and it will be utilized in that particular reaction. So likewise, so energy, hence ATP acts as energy currency of the cell. So that's why ATP also known as energy currency of the cell. So the energy trapped in ATP is utilized in various energy requiring for process of the organisms, and the carbon skeleton produced during the respiration is used as a precursor for the biosynthesis of other molecules in the cell. So thereby what is the point we are observing here? When the ATP is utilized in as energy form, no. So here the ATP we will be considering as energy currency of this cell. That is the point. And this energy is trapped in the ATP. It is utilized in various energy requiring processes. So definitely it will be, means here definitely this particular ATP is utilized in energy requiring processes of organisms, and when this particular oxidation of food materials are going to be taken place or going to be oxidized, here what is happening? Carbon dioxide is released, carbon dioxide skeleton produced during respiration, and the carbon dioxide skeleton or the carbon dioxide which is used as precursor for the biosynthesis required for the biosynthesis process, means photosynthesis is adida. So biosynthesis process for the other molecules in the cell. So likewise here we are learning about the introduction, we are learning about the introduction of respiration in the plants. So in the next video, so this continuation will be there. So let us see in the next video. But here my dear students, even here also few important bits are there. Few bits are there, so which are important for NEET examination. So thereby listen carefully. Suppose if you get any doubt, watch the video by one more time. So thereby you will be familiar with this knowledge. Thank you.